36, recorded on May 31st, 2009.
I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm Wes Welton.
I'm
Spencer
Bill
Williams.
Stein.
Nice.
That's a good way to do it.
Wow,
Just
had a
quick and
full
fast.
show, hasn't it?
Well, we delayed so long, we belabored the chat room with sitting here to listen to us ramble, so we figured we had to go through it quick. So, how was the episode? Did we do a good job?
I think so. I'm done.
Excellent.
I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
See you, man.
This was the best episode ever.
Okay, so let's see. We do this podcast. It's about a game called Warhammer, and we all play this game. Some more than others.
We took a couple weeks break. We
should explain that.
Yeah, we some of us went down for a convention in Birmingham called PlayOnCon, and because of that and because of some other, like I was getting ready for the convention. I'm one of the directors. I run it, and I had no time to do much of anything, much less playing Warhammer. So I'm finally starting to get back into the game shortly. And actually, the funny thing is, my credit card information got compromised. So they reissued me credit cards. So all my MMOs got canceled within a few days of each other. So I actually I'm subscribed to
bought me so much beer. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But I actually have no MMO accounts. For me to go home and play tonight, I gotta sign in again and give them a new credit card.
Nice.
Fun. I'm going to slow it down a little bit here.
Why? I was talking so fast. We were doing so great. I thought it was really great. Would you like some micro machines?
My head hurts.
Oh my God.
So, Spencer, how did your week go?
Oh my God! You want to start with me? Really?
Well, we can start with me, but it would be probably a lot like Wes's week without the hyperactivity.
Okay. Well, my week. I haven't played War in a month. That's how my week went.
All right.
So now, do y'all understand why I don't like these week of that we do every week?
Because you have to fess up to being a loser?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't fess up. I didn't do
Say
anything. He just fessed up to being a loser. I didn't.
I
So quick.
man, Wes talking. I was gonna say, even if we weren't doing that week thing, I was gonna say it. I haven't played in a month, and I'm sort of debating whether or not I'm going to from here on out.
So is there something that changed, like, over the past, or is it just you stopped playing for like a week and then it's just kind of like, I don't even know if I want to get back in there?
There's a little bit of both. It was a little bit of, you remember I went to Huntsville,
Right.
and I didn't play when I was there because I didn't have a computer. And literally the day I got back from Huntsville, I wiped my hard drive and installed the release candidate of Windows 7. And I was in the process of reinstalling games and stuff like that. And I sent a note to Bill. I don't know if you remember Bill. I said, should I reinstall Warhammer or not?
And I said yes.
He said yes. He did. And so I did reinstall it. And I have it reinstalled. And
It's just not patched.
It's patched. It's patched. I started it up, and I changed the resolution to my preferred resolution. And then I closed it, and it's been sitting on my hard drive ever since. I just, I don't know. I wasn't happy with the game for a long time before, and I'm not sure I need that frustration in my life right now. So, yeah.
It's like, I need something happy. So, Bill, I hear you've been having a lot of fun.
Since I got back from vacation, I've been having a blast.
Now, you went
go through
camping.
what I did this week?
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Well, right before I went on vacation, we did a couple small RVR matches or scrims with Combine, the Order Guild.
Right.
And it didn't go so well because we didn't really have the right group makeup. So when I got back, we got some people out there, and we did it again with against Combine and Logic. Actually got over on Combine's Ventrilo, and we just set up a place to meet, and we just alternate people in and out, and bang heads with them. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of like, you're going to get players who are much better than the average Order player. So we're really able to kind of see where we're at in terms of ability and, where the difference between a renown is, because they're all very, very high renown rank.
Like all 80.
Yeah, they're in the 70s and 80s, a lot of them, yeah. So it was a good time. people in the forums were kind of complaining about it, saying that it's kind of like a token farming. But I can tell you, the 3 hours that we did it, we got no tokens, or we got officer medallions. That's all we really got. One
Well,
warlord,
even if you
warlord
did get
crest dropped. Go ahead.
I mean, I guess it's not token farming if you're not doing it specifically to get tokens. I mean, you were clearly doing it to try something new, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that was kind of my argument. It's not like we're standing there letting them kill us. We're doing 6v6s, and it's a fight. You're trying to win. It's not like we're trying to get tokens. And in the 3 hours we did it, we got one warlord crest dropped, but it bugged out and never rolled for it. So we got only officer medallions. Talking to them, they said they got one royal crest off one of our guys, and that's all they got other than officer medallions for the night. So, and they won more than we did. I will say that much. We did much better than the first time we went against them, but they definitely won. They had the upper hand. But towards the end of the night, we were swapping in people who weren't even level 40 yet to try and give them a shot at it. So, and then another guild, Ritual, came out. I think it's Ritual is their name. Came out and did some with us, and we did a little bit better against them. But definitely, what they have their strategies down. So we definitely learned a lot there.
Cool.
And besides that, I know you were talking about destruction pushing forts, and we actually got to the city, apparently.
That's what I heard. I was on vacation, but I heard last Friday they got to Altdorf. So it's been about 9 days, I'd say.
Huh.
But and we've pushed a fort every day for the last 5 or 6 days straight. So, it's destruction's definitely out there, and the numbers are a lot more even than what we're used to seeing. They can definitely throw out the numbers some nights, but I honestly think that the problem is more of destruction than it is the numbers. We've had forts where warband left the zone instead of going to the fort. So it's like, well, we don't deserve to win a fort if we can't coordinate.
Right.
You see, I still I put a lot of that still on Mythic for not putting the tools for that coordination into the game. I think that would change my opinion of the game quite a bit.
I think it's hard to put in a game something that's going to make 200 players coordinate. It's just something that you got to do. And maybe it's a little harder to, maybe it's a little too hard or requires too much coordination, but it's, do you dumb it down for people, or do you keep it difficult?
You think they couldn't put like a destruction-wide message board up in the game that everyone could look at and make organization around that, as opposed to making people go outside the game, to which not everyone's going to do? I think some very simple tools.
2 accounts on each side, and having a message board telling what destruction is going to be doing, we might as well just do it in the open anyway.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's going to be a problem no matter what.
Right.
I think that problem is overblown. I mean, if the choice is between them knowing what's coming and still having some organization, and not having any organization but they don't know what's going on, I mean, I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just post it in in the forums or something. But you're talking about having something in game. I mean, we have the calendar that goes cross alliance, but you think we need something like maybe a message board in IC that people could go see and just see a message that says, "Hey, we're going to be out RVRing." Saturday.
I think that for a game that requires so much organization, the organizational tools that they provide are weak at best. That's my opinion.
Well, they have the in-game chat channel. I mean, it also comes to, you can communicate in region chat. It's whether or not people are going to listen. And I think a lot of it is on how destruction is organized. I almost think that in order to be successful in this large-scale RVR, you have to be in an active large guild. And if you're not, then and you're only going out there with your 3 guys, and you're not, if you join a pug warband, Pug warbands don't accomplish much. So if you're in an alliance warband where people require in-game communication like Vent, I could see them adding a voice communication like Lord of the Rings has, but I'm not sure that this game is coded well enough to add that. It would probably bog down and lag out the game more.
Yeah, no, I've seen who is it? WoW tried to add one, and they couldn't even do it properly, right? So it's like, well, at that point, these games need to look at it and say, no, don't try to add it ourselves. What they need to do is actually work with Ventrilo. You know, say, hey, we're going to rent X amount of servers that we need to run in our games, and then we'll just kind of hook it up so it looks like it's coming from our game, but really Ventrilo's running all the audio, and we just kind of do the connections.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that'd be
EVE Online has a in-game voice that works perfectly well. I mean, I know people still use Vent because it's the preferred method.
Well, it's just easier. Like, I mean, WoW has one, and it works just fine. It just never works as good as Ventrilo, so why not just use Ventrilo?
And that was the feeling for Lord of the Rings too, is that it's there, but it doesn't sound as good as Vent does.
See, and I've got a huge vent problem right now. That's another reason why I'm not playing, is I've got a huge vent problem. This has nothing to do with the game.
Well, there's a new Vent server, so maybe that'll fix it.
No, it's on any server that I join. After a certain period of time, I can no longer hear what anyone says unless I quit out or change channels, and then I hear everything that everyone said all in a row. And I've tried dozens of things to fix it, and I can't figure it out. So
I'll try looking for help on that issue and see if you can. I don't know. That sounds weird.
I've been on the vent forums, and
Right.
from being on the vent forums, my conclusion about Vent is that it's one of the most broken pieces of software in the world. It doesn't seem like the thing ever breaks the same way twice.
I've never had any real problems with it, but
I know Eric had some issues with it, but I think looking up on the forums and seeing how you're supposed to do stuff fixed it. So I don't know what that says. It's just like, Spencer, go look up on some forums. Figure it
Thanks.
out.
Get that.
So, besides that, anything else happened in your week of war?
I've been playing my. I hit renown rank 61 on my shaman, so I now
Wow.
drop warlord crests when I die.
Jeez.
Wow.
I want to farm you.
I got my black orc up to 37, and I'm closing in on 40 with him. And I got full annihilator with him too, so I'm getting set to start running the city dungeons with him, which I think it'll be
Sweet.
pretty cool to start tanking, because I've never played a tank in any game, so it'll be different. I got on the public test server too to try out the 1.3 changes.
Yeah.
I tried out my my Marauder first. The single target changes look pretty cool. They do a lot more damage now. Single target. Area effect, they don't do as much, but the single target is pretty cool.
So, did you notice? Did you actually go play like in the new area? Is that open in the PTS yet?
I don't think it's open. No, they had the quest there to turn in the things, to the rewards or whatever it is, to get it to open it up, but you can't go there still. At least I did figure out. No one had figured it out the day I was on there. I haven't been on there in a couple days, but I played with my shaman a little bit too. They're getting a total revamp. I like what they're doing with the healing, though I'm not totally crazy about what they did with the damage. And I know a lot of other shamans out there like the damage changes, but I'm not a fan of it so far.
So, what are they doing? Are they reducing your damage to give you more healing?
No, they're increasing damage by a lot, but the problem is that they're messing with the mastery trees, and I don't like what they're doing with the mastery trees as much. I know some people do like it. Maybe I got to play with it some more. I just
how
haven't
so?
figured out all the. What?
Could you be specific what you don't like about it? I mean, what are they changing?
Oh, well, they have a spell called Your Weakling, which there's a tactic which changes it from a single target spell to an area of effect spell. Instead of just hitting one person, it hits everyone in 20 feet of that person, which I was using quite a lot. But now they're taking the damage off of it and just making it a straight stat debuff. So I don't like that. It's I feel like all the shaman AoEs have a long spell cast times, either 2 or 3 seconds. And with the changes that are coming to the shaman, they're not going to shorten the cast times anymore. They're just going to make the spells more effective. So I don't like that the cast times are so long for an area of effect spell. They don't
Now,
have a
they're already-
channel AoE spell. Go ahead.
They're already that long, right? I mean, they're not
They're
lengthened.
already that. long, but you're a weakling with the tactic is only or like a 1.5 second cast, so it's not that bad. It's a short cast. So I mean, it doesn't do tons of damage, but one of the things I do like that they're doing is on the debuff tree. There's a spell called Sticky Feats, which it slows all the enemies down in that AoE that you drop on the ground, and it reduces their elemental resist. So I would use that in combination with the AoE spell You're a Weakling, and I could do a lot of damage with my shaman because I would basically kill all of their elemental resist and then start hitting them with elemental attacks. They're moving that spell from the debuff tree to the healing tree, which is kind of weird to me, but I guess they're trying to make the healing tree a little bit more viable for shamans.
Yeah.
It does seem to me that Mythic really doesn't know what they're doing with mastery trees for healers. I know that every complaint I've heard from Zealots is that they don't have a good healing tree. They just have 3 mastery trees, and none of them really target on healing. Where shamans have a healing tree with only 1 good heal in it. So, yeah, and one of the other changes they made for healing was they added a toughness buff to one of our hots, so we'll actually be able to buff toughness by 240.
Oh, I like that.
I wonder if
That'll put me over the cap.
I wonder if the healing issues are because of their sort of, remember in the run up to release they were talking about how healers could kick ass too and all that stuff. Do you think maybe they got so focused on that the healing is just sort of backseat to all that? I mean, it's just speculation.
I'm not sure.
Well, I wonder if they really wanted... I don't know. I think at first maybe they didn't want healers to be able to heal that well. And they wanted kind of fights to go kind of quick where everybody dies off pretty fast and then comes back. And then maybe, healers weren't healing well enough at all. So they're like, well, maybe we need to give them more healing.
Well, I know one of the big complaints that they're addressing is that they're reducing the range of group heal. Group heal heals out to 150 feet, and after 1.3, it's going to drop to 90 feet.
That's going to completely...
Now, that's pretty much what this patch is, right? It's to reduce the AoEs for everyone. I mean, it seems like everybody's getting nerfed.
They're scaling down the size of the AoEs and the damage on AoEs immensely for everyone across the board. Bright Wizards, Sorks, Shamans, Blackguards, everybody's AoE is getting small.
Which I think is great.
Crowd control, are they changing that at all?
They are not changing crowd control, that I believe. One of the other shaman abilities I did hear that they're adding is that the damage bubble we put on people, well, I believe this is going to be a tactic where that'll also make people immune to snares and roots and things like that. Nice. So that'll actually make it pretty cool.
Nice. I'm kind of glad they're getting away from AoE stuff because, man, sometimes it's just lame walking into area and just, being dead in 2 seconds because there's so many AoEs just going off.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think the healing, even though it seems like a big nerf, I think what it's going to do is just cause people to keep their eyes on their healers more, which I think we need. I don't think people really they almost leave it up to healers to stay within, them. And I think now it's going to take the full group, say, okay, our healer's here, and we need to stay within 90 feet of him. And it'll help a lot of things.
How much is the AoE difference going to change keep fights or fort fights? I mean, the last time I played, almost all the defense techniques were based around AoE damage and AoE healing. Or it seemed that way.
Well, one of the things I think this will address is it's going to make it harder to ninja a keep. Also, one of the patch changes they're adding is when you upgrade a keep, you can add Deadbolt to it, which will make the inner postern, you can't bypass that. So that's supposed to help stop keep ninjas as well. But I think it's going to make DPS not run off more, because if you run off, you're not, 150 feet is a good distance, where 90 feet is much, much less. So it's going to make it, you're going to have to stick close to your healer.
At the risk of sounding like a total and complete noob, I did not know the range on my AoE heal was that big. And so the people were like, we're going to go in through the door and we're going to attack. You just spam AoE heals. And so I would stand out there and I'd be spamming AoE heals, and I had no idea that I was actually reaching. I'm like, surely it can't reach that far. So, yeah.
I think these changes are sort of complementary, the AoE changes. Because if you think about it, the AoE damage has been reduced, And what that allows you to do is stay in a closer knit group, which then allows them to reduce the healing damage to promote more sort of teamwork behavior. I think that could be kind of good.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that I think has been missing from the game is it. You know, you have these big keep battles, and it's really just all these people throw themselves against the wall. I mean, sure, you have a group that says guards the pause door and then one on the front doors, but if you have it where it's really segmented, where each group is concentrating to stay together and work together, I think it's much more of a game there. It's much more skill to work as those individual groups, let alone within those small groups.
Yeah.
So yay, that'll be
What else
fun.
you got anything else for us, Naker?
Other than that, I just been having I really got back into the game heavy. I've been really enjoying myself with the game a lot more recently. So.
And we do have. I noticed on here you have the guild meeting is Monday night. So all of you people in Heralds.
Yeah, we want to get on Vent tomorrow night. We're talking about some changes coming to the guild. So.
And we will be taking blood samples at the door. So if you're in order, you will not get in. So I guess that leaves it to me in my week.
Yeah. Brent, how was your week?
My week was awesome. I went down to PlayOnCon, and we had a lot of fun there. Control Point community was in-house, about 20 of us all around the United States, and even, did we get anyone from Canada? No, they didn't come this time.
Nope.
No, but a lot of people came down. That was a lot of fun. But what didn't happen was playing Warhammer that much because there wasn't really any way to play there. I did play one night, and that was I don't really know what. Oh, I added someone to our Misfits guild, I think, or no, I gave them Alliance officership. And then I logged out, and I've really been spending a lot of time with my family, just because when you're gone for 5 days from your fam, they don't like it if you run up and play MMOs, apparently. So
Even though the whole time you're thinking, oh, God, I got to spend time with my kids. Oh.
No, not like that at all. I actually had a lot of fun. My kids actually like Plants vs. Zombies, so we did get some computer time in. Though I think the game is lame, and I can't wait till it dies. It's like a bad meme, and I hope it goes away soon. It's kind of like Tanoth and all those other stupid games online that they just need to go away so I don't sink more time into them.
What are you talking about? Plants vs. Zombies rules.
It sucks. It really sucks.
No.
The only good thing about it is the Zen Garden, and this is not a Plants vs. Zombies podcast, so I'm going to move on from it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So anyway, back to Warhammer. I'm looking forward to these changes. I'm really looking forward to the next patch. I wish they would hurry up and, I kind of put in here as one of the discussions maybe this week is PTS. How much does it really help bug test? Because all I hear is people go, well, I bug tested the last thing and they didn't change anything. So I'm like, yeah. Just put it on the live server. We'll figure it out later. But I'm ready for it. How about y'all?
Really? I don't know. I don't know if I'm on the same boat with that. I don't. Because I think that what people, and I know I'm guilty of this as much as anyone, but I think that what people see that comes out of the patch isn't necessarily everything that's there. And what people tend to focus on is how mechanics work. And I don't think that's the purpose of the test server so much as making sure that the game doesn't break. Now,
Right.
at
No,
the same
I agree.
time, they tend to break the game at least a little bit every time a patch comes off the test server. But how much worse would it actually be?
Right. No, I agree. I think there should be some time on the test server because I agree. I think the only reason it's there is to catch the glaring bugs that is going to bring down the game. But they let in a lot that they fix over the next week, and I think that's fine. Just to be able to get the content out there and playing it because I'm ready for it. I need something new.
I mean, if
Now-
I have a number one complaint of the game, it's mainly that there isn't enough quality control that goes into this stuff. So, keep it on the test server until it works.
Nah.
That's what I want.
Now, Brent, we got to get you into Lost Vale and that stuff. We got to get you through the city dungeons too.
That's all. I'll go play WoW. I mean, why don't I want to go play dungeons? I still don't get that. Maybe I need to just to see it. I've done some of the city dungeons, and To me, it's just more the crap that I don't play war for. You know what I mean? It's like I did the dungeons for 10 years in EverQuest and Warhammer. I mean, in WoW. And now Warhammer, I'm ready for PvP action. I'm ready for some
hot PvP.
Yeah, some hot orc on orc and orc on dwarf stuff. I want to be ripping some beards out and poke. Anyway.
Stop
the
it.
PvP dungeon, I think, is going to be a big part of the new expansion.
Yeah.
And that, I believe, you will need the gear. You will need either Invader gear or Dark Promise gear for.
Saving up my badges, baby. Saving up them badges. I got.
Now, one of the things they're doing is they're going to have these unlocks for the wards, but you're going to have to do so many tasks, like to get, let's say, the great award for a chess piece, you may have to kill the lord of the guy at the end of the Bile Rot like 6 times in order to get
lame.
that.
Are they going to get rid of the stupid cooldown timer? The 3-day
thing?
No, but they did improve it so that if like your group falls apart or something like that, you can go back in there with a different group right away.
You see, all this smells like to me is them trying to make you play more so that you'll keep your subscription longer.
Well, the changes with the sigils, I guess is what it's called, instead of actually having to get the armor pieces first. I think that's a good step. I hope it isn't kill X guy 6 times, even though to some people who had to go do the city dungeon, 40 plus times to get one piece of item, if they only had to do it 6 times, they would probably want that, right? Yeah. So that's actually reducing the time for them.
Well, the whole thing is, I mean, whenever you've got any kind of a game where there is a you have to create a forced scarcity of goods. You can't just hand everybody everything. And the problem is you've got these power players who put in 40-something hours a week. And so you have to put some scarcity on these goods, otherwise everyone will have the same thing. And you've got to have something to inspire people to go and do more.
I agree, but I don't think it should be on the PvE side of it in a PvP game.
I can agree with that.
I think it should
I would
be
go
more
in the other
PvP.
direction. I think that there should be much less scarcity of goods and far more goods to attain. And that's one of the number one problems that I have with this game is that, there is a sort of limited amount of gear to go after if you like collecting gear. And if there was just a lot more good gear out there, then it would be far less of a problem.
Well, good gear is definitely a problem with this game. The gear in this game is not that great. There is a lot of gear to go after because you've got a PvE set and a PvP set for each level. And if you look at games like WoW, where there was 3 tiers of armor when the game came out, I mean that's basically what you're looking like now for endgame. You've got Annihilator, lesser wards, greater wards, superior wards, and then you've got the other ones which are really hard to get, which may or may not happen on our server. But which they started opening up with tokens, but the tokens still take so long to get. The high-end tokens take forever.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't have as much problem with the armor as I do the way to get it. I'm trying to stick with mostly just getting it PvP style. I mean, I've got all my Annihilator. I've got one Invader piece that's sitting there, but still, I have to get like 10 more ranks before I can wear just this one piece. So I've got time anyway.
Well, we just got to get you out there, RVR, and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem with my Black Orc right now is he's around rank 26, and I need to get to 33 to wear my full Annihilator. Ouch. And then I'm probably not going to worry about his renown rank too much because I'll just do the city dungeons, and then I'll do Lost Vale on him. I don't know how much I'll play him because once Land of the Dead comes out, I know I'm going to be back on my shaman all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will start playing again to try out that stuff, and if it's good, then that'll go a long way towards keeping me as a player. I keep forgetting about it. It feels like they announced. When did they announce this dungeon? Like 3.5 months ago?
I think in March, yeah.
Yeah, because there are a lot of events on the way that they announced too. So
I almost feel like they announced it too soon because I'm sort of burnt out on waiting for it.
Well, you know what your goal is now is to get to 40 before it comes out.
Now the PvP dungeon, like the only thing, like the one thing I'm saying about that is that you got to kind of get through some of the content that's out there now. So that's why you got to get your butt back in the game, and we'll help you get through these dungeons, and so you'll be ready for this when it comes out.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I have to decide is if I want to do that. Do I want to hurry up and get another character to 40, or do I want to try it with my Witch Elf? And if I'm going to try it with my Witch Elf, then that means I need to start doing city dungeons again, or something.
Well,
So-
my Black Orc will be ready pretty soon. Like I said, I gained 2 levels yesterday, so I'm at 37 now.
Maybe we
But,
should hang out. I'm still, 36?
Jeez.
We'll get you on there. At this point, I'm power leveling all characters to get them through. So, and that's one of the things that we would like to do. We definitely need more Witch Elves, though, Spence. So that was one of our issues when we fought against Combine. Is we
Okay,
had
tell
to
me, tell me what I would do as a Witch Elf these days.
in PvP, you absolutely all you do you burst down people. You're one of the few classes in the game that can damage faster than a healer can heal.
Okay, well maybe I'll hop back on. And one of my problems with MMOs in general, and especially with the sort of Diablo 2 build your own character model, is that I suck at building characters. I'm terrible at it. It's why I don't play Magic the Gathering. I suck at building decks. I suck at building characters. I'm just
Well,
not
if you
good.
need help with gear and stuff, I mean, get on Vent when you can get it working, and that's all we do is we sit there BS and we talk about
Oh,
gear.
great. So
what we
now I
should
gotta
do.
get Vent working. Thanks. No.
Well, competency is a kind of
Yeah,
a
I know.
prerequisite to.
Okay, well I'll hop on. I don't have. I'll do it.
We needed you the other night when we went against Combine. I'll tell you, when we did the 6 vs 6, all they did was 4 people went on me very first thing, and I was dead in 3 seconds every match. And the only way we could win is if the second healer could get me up in time to start saving it.
So, did y'all need a Black Orc at all?
Black Orcs are good too. We did win when we used a Black Orc, Fuma, who's talking in chat right now. He's a pretty well geared Black Orc, and he can definitely take some damage. And Black Orcs are really great for harassing healers in DPS because of the amount of damage they take, and they can just sit there and stay on the healer the whole time, or stay on a DPS, and they have to keep moving. That means they're not using big heals or big damage spells.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember Fuma. I love Fuma. I forget when it was. But I guess it was a couple weeks ago before the CP event. We were in, was it Black Crag? And Order had just flipped one of the BOs, and it was just the 2 of us. We were cross-shielded. We just jumped into the middle of them and basically held the BO until the rest of our warband got there. And it was pretty sweet. 2 Black Orcs kicking tail.
Yeah,
Now-
he has those cool invader shoulders, which are awesome. Which I really just want to get that's the only reason I'll level my renown rank on my Black Orc, is just to get those cool shoulders, because they are so cool looking.
I haven't seen it.
I was going
I'll
to
have
ask,
look for those.
is there a place, has the sort of place for Choppas and I guess Slayers been hammered out yet, or do they have a comfortable niche at this point?
They do. There's just a lot of Choppas on our server. Everybody has a freaking Choppa.
'Cause they're
So
awesome.
I've got a chopper.
Witch Elves, honestly, Witch Elves are better. I mean, they can burn people down so fast. I mean, Belle's Witch Elf isn't great geared. She's probably on the gear point of where your Witch Elf is.
Okay.
It's not she plays a lot, but her Witch Elf isn't her primary character in it, and it was a difference maker when we went against Combine. The fact that we brought her in there is why we beat them a couple times, because the burst DPS we just knocked down a healer, and then she can get the healer down in 2-3 seconds.
That makes me feel good, because when I was playing Amelie, there wasn't really a good niche for her at that point. There was no one ever told me what to do, and I have to be told what to do.
I think
Buy me
Witch Elves
dinner.
do really well in small scale RVR, and I think the AoEs being decreased are going to help Witch Elves, because when the AoE size gets smaller, you're going to be able to find more areas to get through the AoE without getting knocked out of stealth.
Okay. Well, now you're actually making me want to play. So I guess that's why
Why you
been
do the
debating whether or
podcast?
That's why I've been thinking about whether or not I wanted to keep doing the podcast, and I actually did the podcast night in the hopes that someone would talk me into playing the game. So
we're going to
Just
change the
gotta get
name to the
inventive to
Talk
do this, too.
Spencer Off the Ledge podcast.
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna do it.
Now, Heralds of the Four did get a new Ventrilo because we lost our free one.
Okay.
So we'll have to get you guys the IP for that.
Well, and two, I do want to offer Control Point and Warp. We actually get sponsored by lowpings.net, which is a FPS server farm, and so we have a free Ventrilo. We can set up channels and give ops to people we need to and everything. It's 50 channels at the moment, but we can raise that if needed.
What's that euro?
Yeah, well, thanks a lot.
Lowpings.net.
I just rented a 50-man server for 6 months today. So,
Ouch.
Wes, I'll run Bastion Stair with you too.
Sweet.
I know you need that.
I do. I need
Yeah,
the weapon.
Definitely.
I think I need the weapon from that too. I don't
have the
know. I'm
weapon
getting
on-
pretty close to getting the weapon
my
from the Epic RVR stuff. I don't know if that's better or not. I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
So, Wes, there's this podcast called Warp. You should probably tune in, like, every once in a while, like, while you're on it.
Our
I-
sound man cackling gleefully. in the background.
Yeah.
It's so-
He emptied a whole pint of Bacardi, so now he's moved on to the Bud Lights.
Yes.
oh my God.
Laughing about it.
And he's over there going, sweet, sweet, epic.
Sweet. I'm going to post this information on the Vent channel out in the weekly notes.
So yeah, I'll be on
Just
tonight about I'm gonna shoot for about 9 o'clock Central, and maybe we can do a Bastion run stair. That would be awesome.
What level is that? Can a 40 go, or is that going to mess up your XP?
I'm not worried
No,
about
40s can
XP.
go.
I'll go if y'all need
Yeah.
a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
you.
We'll
Generally,
make,
it's like
make
30.
an outing of it.
So by the time the rest of you listen to this podcast, we'll have run Bastion stair, and we'll tell you all about it next week.
And next week on Warp, Bastion Stairs.
I want to play.
I have, speaking of, and you could do this because I got the item which can raise someone's level up to 2 under yours. I've only tried it in PvP and it does not work there, so I think it only works in PvE. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So you can't just, throw up someone in the PvP area. So if you want to, hop on your account, and I know it's paid up for the next month.
Nice.
So hop on and I'll boost you up 2 levels, and you'll get us all killed because you have no
Yay.
clue how to play now. And you're drunk,
Yay.
stoned, whatever else,
I'm clapping.
crunking.
Okay, well,
I'm
let's.
happy.
This has been one of the most. Holy crap! Shut him up! Oh my God! Shut the sock.
I want to play Warhammer.
Oh my
It's like a
gosh.
little Warhammer monkey. Warhammer.
This is the most meandering bullcrap podcast we've ever done, and we've done some terrible ones. I tell you what.
Warhammer is fun game.
I think I can just listen to him for another hour. Can we just turn a mic on him?
Okay, so do we have an add-on of the week?
No, we don't have anything else for the podcast. I pretty much knew we'd be pulling
Yeah.
you off the
Okay.
ledge all night long.
I did an ad. What? All right.
Oh, wait. I see the token
No.
machine, but that's been done before.
Did we do token machine?
Yeah.
I mentioned it. I don't think I did.
Okay,
it.
do token machine.
No. That's fine.
I think we've got the token
It's really
machine in
good.
here tonight, though.
No,
It's
no,
really
no.
good because when tokens drop in RVR, you really need it. Automatically rolls for you, and people will stab you if you don't have it. So
Yeah.
because when a warlord crest drops and someone doesn't roll on it, people get really mad.
I imagine.
And it's probably that person who is on the, what's it called? The RAM.
Yeah.
Probably.
That annoys me the most is like, I'll
AFK at
drop
the
off the RAM and say, oh, look at all the stuff that I was going to roll for, but I didn't get to because I was on the RAM.
Yeah,
I did,
don't know what's up with the RAM? That's a major complaint I have. I was on the RAM because I'm my black work's low, and we did the Alliance Warband stuff the other day, and so as a low tank, I was like, all right, I got to use the RAM, and you can't see anything.
Yeah.
It's busted. I don't like it.
No, I hate it
You know
too.
what? I'm working on a new mod that maybe we can talk about next week. It's one where as soon as you get in a doorway, you go AFK.
Does this sound like the TF2 unlock mod? Anyway, so that's token
Wrap this
machine.
puppy up before we embarrass ourselves more.
Next week, you can look forward to another Shermadar tip of the week and an unlock of the week and fan sites. Probably some listener contributions if you send it in. Send it in. And that is at
Send it in.
where can they send that into? CP at deadworkers.com.
Warp at deadworkers.com.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
works.
No.
Does it?
I think
Yeah.
Warp does.
Okay, warp at deadworkers.com. Send in all your submissions.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for the night.
Yeah.
So we're going to go do Bash and Shares, and next week we will
And maybe-
hopefully be here.
Okay.
Maybe Eric will play Warhammer.
Yay, I like Warhammer.
Can I get one good one for the audio? Are you saying that? You want to use my mic?
Here, wait.
I'm breathless with anticipation.
I like Warhammer. Warhammer, fun game.
Good enough.
Okay.
Give him a
Yay.
ball. See if he's like a seal.
Give him a bong? What?
The end.